What is up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here. We are back in the world of EVE Online. That's right. From the last video, all I basically did was just do the little newbie tutorial quest, and then I headed back to the station. If you guys remember from the first video, I was telling you guys that you do get 250,000 skill points for using the affiliate link that's located in this video description and that video description. This is where you get that. You come up here to the top left-hand corner, click this, go down to inventory, go down to redeem items. Well, since I'd already opened it, it closes it. We'll do it again. Boop. There you go. And this is where you can redeem these skill points. These skill points, I believe, we're just going to go ahead and do redeem selected items. You're now redeeming items in the hangar, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Claiming 250 skill points to TDK Trader. Do you want to do that? Yes. 250 skill points have been added to TDK Trader. To use them, open your character sheet, put skills in training, and click apply skill points. Following items have been redeemed, blah, 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 blah. All right, so let's see. Here we go. So you can see right here, my skill points are unallocated. So I can just click this and it'll just boop, put it in. I'm assuming it will put it in this queue, but I'm not sure. We're not going to mess with that for right now. We'll do that later on. But I did want to show you guys, just doing this mission here, just doing these missions is going to net you guys some serious ISK. You guys remember last time we had 5 grand. Now we have 55 grand just by doing this. Now, obviously, for those of you who've ever played EVE Online, you know 55,000 ISK, practically nothing. I gotcha. But I strongly recommend you do these quests. Number 1, it's going to get you a lot of money. Number 2, it's going to get you a lot of ships and items. And then number 3, it's also going to get you tutorials on how to play things. So there's a lot of systems in EVE. EVE's one of those games that's very similar to, actually I would say it's even more complicated than Minecraft. You start playing it, and even if you think you know a lot, even if you've been playing it for a while and you do know a lot, you're always going to find that little tip, that little trick, that little tidbit that you didn't know about, et cetera, et cetera. So, nothing wrong at all with spending a little extra time doing these. Unless you've got a benefactor that you don't care about, don't come messaging me. I ain't gonna give you no ISK. Don't talk to me about that. All right, guys, I'm going to keep doing these missions, and we'll pick up once we get to the next juicy part. All right, boys, we have just gotten back from doing the, the last real, basic tutorial mission. And in that, let's see, where are we at money-wise? We're up to 291,000 ISK, so not too shabby. Made some monies. We got a couple new ships. Not only that, but we got a blueprint for a ship. So we got the Incursus blueprint. This allows you to allows you to make Incursuses or Incursi, which is cool. It's a ship. Basically, it means you're technically self-sufficient-ish, and because at least you can make the ship. So we can use that if we wanted to kind of maybe kickstart the whole industrial side of things. Keep in mind, ships are big. Even small ships are big. I don't know what an Incursus is size-wise. I guess we can look that up real quick. Let's see. Incursus right here. All right, so if we look it up, an Incursus, I think it's under attributes, or is it just, no, it'll be under attributes. Let's see, where is it? Should say in here somewhere. I'm probably just missing it. I know it's under mass. Okay. Here we go. So volume is 29,500 M3. So that means if it's completely unpackaged, that's how big it is. If it's packaged, it's 2,500 M3. So M3 is I think it's meters cubed. That's the EVE size of everything. So we also got a new ship, the Venture. So let's go ahead and assemble the Venture real quick. And then let's look at the Adventure itself. Let's look at capacity. So 50 M3. That seems kind of small. Is that accurate? Is that really, whoops. Is it really 50 M3? God dang, that's small. That's tiny. All right, well, let's look at a quote-unquote real ship. The one that we're going to want to get eventually is the Eteron 5. So let's go ahead and open that up. Eteron 5 right here. So the mining ship that they gave me has a capacity of 50. This is a capacity of 5,800. Now, the 5,800 is without bonuses. Well, actually, no, it's probably with bonuses, but my bonuses haven't been done very well. What do I mean by bonuses? Well, if we come over here to traits, it says 5% bonus to ship cargo capacity, 5% bonus to ship max velocity for Gallente Industrial. So basically, every tick of Gallente Industrial, and I'm sorry that there's windows freaking everywhere. So let's do, I think that's under here. Yeah, Gallente Industrial. So you can see we can't tick Gallente Industrial up very high, unfortunately, because of the whole Omega clone restriction. That's something we're going to get eventually. So we only get the basic. So the Iteron 5 for us is going to be about 5,000 M3. But if that was at 5, if we had that maxed out at 5, that would give us a 25% bonus to cargo capacity. So instead of a measly little 5%, it'd be 25%. So, you go from something that's like 5,000 M3. I think you can get that thing up to like 100,000 M3. I'm not sure off the top of my head because it's been a long time since I fit a capped out Iteron 5. I think it was about 2011 on my alt that I did it. So it's been a bit. But these things are absolutely monstrous. So we would be able to fit at 2,500 M3. We could at least fit 2 of them in the Iteron, and we could then take the Iteron. We could use it to travel to Jeddah or maybe .exe or Amar or Tashmirkan or wherever we wanted to sell it, and we'd go from there. Keep in mind, Eve, unlike a lot of other MMOs that you may have been used to playing, does not have a centralized auction house, so to speak. What do I mean by that? Well, you can access anything in your region. So we are in... Let's see. I'm not sure which region we're in because, unfortunately, the Verge vendor. We're in the Verge vendor region. There's a lot of different regions. Everything in Eve is broken into regions. So looking at this market here, I am only seeing stuff in the Verge area. So Jeddah is like the Costco or Walmart of Eve. That's where the majority of people go to sell. And we can't see that stuff here. So that makes things interesting because let's say in Verge Vendor, nobody wants to buy in Cursus's, but in Jeddah, they do. Well, we technically don't know that unless we fly there or have an alt there or use a third-party website. So it does make trading kind of interesting because of that. So you kind of got to be careful. Not only that, but stuff is fluid. So a lot of times people will trick people into doing certain things, like maybe use a third-party market website to make it look like a certain commodity or ship or module or something is worth a lot to get you to buy it from this area. And then once you buy it, they remove the sell price or the buying price in Jeddah, and now you're stuck with an overpriced item that you're never going to get rid of. There's a lot of scams like that go on in Eve. Anyways, that being said, we have a couple options now. So now that we've completed the quote-unquote basic tutorial, it's kicked us over to agents. So agents are basically, I guess, designed to kind of break down the different aspects of the game. So you have business right here, you have exploration, you have industry, military, and then advanced military. And that's all of the quote-unquote career agents. Now, you don't have to do any of these. In fact, you don't even have to do the damn tutorial if you don't want to. If you choose not to do these guys and do not do these missions, then you can go and do whatever the hell you want. I am going to do all of these, actually. And the reasoning behind that is, from what I understand, I should make somewhere around 5 to 6 million ISK, plus a variety of ships doing this. Not only that, but it's going to be a good refresher course for me, because, like I said, I haven't played Eve since like 2011, so a lot's changed. So we are going to start with, I want to do exploration, because I'm curious as how that's changed. How did I just make money? Oh, that's the bounties from the mission we just did. So yeah, 350K from 5K starting to 350K. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Anyways, we are gonna do the business one first. So we're gonna set destination there real quick. Now, well, I'll let her finish saying what she's gonna say real quick. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So now that I've got this stuff, this is kind of a base for us right now. If you pull up your assets menu, which is this little thing here, you can see everything you own in the game. Now, right now, we've got one thing. So we've just got all this stuff here. But as time goes on and as you go to different systems and go to different areas, your stuff's going to kind of get spread out a little bit. So we kind of got to be careful with how we go about doing some of these things because you don't want to spread things out too widely. Now, I have the option of bringing all of this stuff with me if I want to, or I can sell it in station. I can pull up the market details on something, see how much it's selling for, et cetera, et cetera. One of the things I do want to let you guys know to kind of help you, especially if you're a new player, is be very careful, especially in the new areas selling your stuff. And the reason behind that is everybody who does the newbie mission is going to get this extra ore. Now, this is not a lot of materials. For the average person, this is not a lot of materials. That being said, somebody who's maybe, a little savvy and wants to make a little money, what they could do is they could come in here and they could make a buy order. Now, what's the difference between a buy and sell order, and how does this auction house different from, say, World of Warcraft's auction house? Well, with World of Warcraft or one of the other games, somebody lists something and they say, I will take X for it. Or maybe they say, we're going to start the bid at X. And then people either buy it direct out with a buy it now, or they bid on it. That's not how things work in EVE. In EVE, there are two types of orders: buy orders and sell orders. Now, a buy order is where you go to a place and you say, hey, I want to buy X. So let's say you're you're looking for an Incursus blueprint. So if I'm looking for an Incursus blueprint, we'll go ahead and view market details for that. That's a bad idea. Let's do Isogen. I'm looking for Isogen. So when you're setting up your buy order, you have a couple options. You can set it up to be station, system, and then you can set it like a certain number of jumps, and then you can do region wide. So what does that mean? Well, if we do station, that means you're only going to buy these materials from this station and this station only. System is every station in the system. Now, this system just coincidentally only has one station, so they're basically the same thing. But we could do, 1 jump, 4 jump, 3 jumps, 7 jumps, and you can kind of see different areas or region wide. So what basically you're doing is anytime somebody wants to come and sell, you're like, hey, bro, I'm going to buy this here. And they're going to see your sell order first, which is what we're looking at, or your buy order first, which is what we're looking at right here. Now, it's critical. You want to make sure you sort the buy orders from highest to lowest. Reasoning behind that is you don't want to sell for 7.5. You want to sell for 62. You want to get the most bang for your buck. However, for sell orders, you want to do the inverse. You want to make sure that you're selling. Did I do that right? Yes. You want to make sure that you're buying the cheapest item, and you want to make sure you're selling for the most expensive. So the cheapest you can get this for is 60, and people are buying it for 62. So kind of interesting. Now, granted, I could technically buy all 6,300 of these, and I could go one system over and sell them for 6,200. Make myself some cash. Make myself, what is that? That's 2.35 ISK per piece. So what is that on 6,300? Do they still have a calculator in here, I wonder? They did a long time ago. I'm sure they do. I would be very surprised if they don't still have the calculator in here. Accessories, calculator. All right, so what did we say? It was 2.35? 2.35. Okay, and now let's do a multiplication times, we'll just round up to 6,400. That would be 15,000 ISK profit. Now, 15,000 ISK is a lot to us, but it's not really a lot, over time. Not only that, but this is, let's see, how big is this? It's 0.01 M3, which means this would be, how much is that? Let's say 6,400 times 0.01. That's 64 M3. So our venture couldn't quite hold it. We'd have to make 2 trips. So the question is 15,000 ISK worth 2 trips? Not really to me. but it might be to somebody else. So you kind of got to weigh your time and such, but that's the difference between your buys and sell orders. These are people that are selling it actively right now for 60, and these are people buying it actively right now. Make sure you keep an eye on your quantities so that you don't buy, like for instance, let's say this guy's only buying 2 at 62 and you buy 6,300 at 60. Then you go over there and sell it. He only sells 2 and it's like, well, shit. Now I'm stuck with all this extra stuff. You got to be very careful. And this is also where market PVP kind of comes into effect. So you can see right here, this guy is selling it for 62.35. This guy, buying 62.35. And this guy's buying it for 62.35. Well, this dude could be a dick and put it at 62.36. And this guy could then do 62.37. And those type of things, maybe not going to happen so much here in this like backwater area, but they're going to happen a lot in places like Jeddah and, .ixy, Amar, Tashmarkan, your market hub region areas. Those are going to have a lot of movement. So, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be making these adjustments constantly to their stuff. So if you undercut them, they're going to undercut you back. And you want to be careful because there's a couple different approaches on there. When you're editing one of these buy or sell orders, most of the time people edit just a little bit. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna go up by 1 ISK or 0.01 ISK, and I'm gonna have the route. People are gonna sell to me first. But some people are like, well, dude, I don't want to fuck with this guy. This guy's pissing me off, so I'm gonna raise it. I don't know. I'll make it 65 ISK. I'll buy for 65. Well, you gotta be careful with that because you're gonna start chipping away at your own profit. So the other thing you want to look at is look at the number. If like for instance, let's say you're buying this guy, you're buying 546,000. This dude, these 3 guys ahead of you, you don't even care. You're going to be probably leaving this buy order up for a month, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. So somebody taking a small percentage, 86,000, I don't care, just get it off. I'm buying 500,000. You're only 20% of my order. You might just let those guys sell out, or in some cases, you might buy them out or sell them out depending on how things are going, because technically you're going to make a profit because you're buying it for cheaper. So there's a lot of market PVP that can go on with that, and that's one of the, I guess you could say, interesting parts of EVE stuff. There's a lot of manipulation that people can do with these types of things. Some guys with really deep pockets can go into a region. Let's say your corp lives in a low sec area and you have seeded the market out there so that you can, actually get commerce kind of going. And somebody decides to come in and fuck with your market a little bit, buy up a lot of stuff, resell it. Then you either have to buy at the prices that guy has relisted everything on, or you have to go through the extra travel. And then you have to kind of balance out, well, is it worth going? And that can get even worse in 0-0. Somebody manipulating your market out in 0-0, then, you got to ship things in from freaking Empire. I mean, if you're in the Bass Ackwards deep end, 12 freaking jump freighter jumps. I don't know if that even is a thing. It may only be like 5 or 6. I know some of the places I looked at a long time ago were pretty deep. Those jumps can really be a pain in the ass. So you kind of got to balance that stuff out. But at the same time, maybe there's a station out there and you ship stuff out. If you can get a trade agreement to work with one of these 0-0 corps, maybe they protect you on your jumps in and out, and you will supply them with all the stuff at reasonable prices. And then you're making 10, 20, 30% profit off of what you would get in Jeddah. But, it's worth your time because you're doing it in bulk. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with this market stuff, which is really cool. That being said, we're going to probably see if we can't, let's see, where is it? Use blueprint. What do I need to make this work? Let's see. All right, so I need 12 Zydrine, I need 17 Noxium, I need 33 Isogen, 13,000 Tritanium, I need 11,000 Pyrite, and 4,000. That's a lot. So you can see what we've got here. So you can see the prices on some of this stuff. So let's look this up versus the regional market. So if we're looking at an Incursus, let's see, Incur. All right, so the Incursus right here, you can see that it's selling for 332,000, and I can get it in system for 370. Notice the difference here. Notice the difference. It's a pretty big. So if I'm willing to go 2 jumps, I'll save 40 grand, which again, really isn't that much once you've been playing a while. But at this level, That's a fairly substantial chunk of change. So we're looking at 370,000 to buy it. So here we're looking at 65K, 76K. So that's about 120. That's what, 390, and then 392, 400. So basically it's going to cost me about 410,000 ISK to manufacture this thing. Not only that, but it'll take, it looks like 1 hour, 36 minutes to run this operation. Yeah. 1 hour, 36 minutes and 0 seconds. So the question comes in is, do I really want to bother with that? I mean, that's a lot. That's not only is that going to cost me more money to make myself, but it's also going to take an hour and a half. Now then, there's something to be said about just making your own shit, because they did give us, minimize all this stuff. They did give us a venture. Now the venture right here, let's go to attribute. Well, no, I guess the trait's right here. 5% bonus to mining yield, 5% bonus to gas cloud harvesting. Now, the mining, whoops, let me back it up. Mining frigate bonuses per skill level. So mining frigate is, let's pull that up. All right, mining frigate. So I have 2 hours, I've got 1 tick in the mining frigate. 1. So that's a 5% bonus to yield. If I wanted to build this up, I could drag it down. That's going to take us up to 2. I'd be taking us up to 3, and then I could take us up to 4. Now that's going to put us at, I guess, can I not fit the 4th one in? There it goes. That'd be 4 days. 4 days. Now I can apply skill points if I wanted to. So you're going to apply 90,000 skill points to the following skills: mining level frigate 4. Are you sure you wish to continue? So that would take me from basically where I am right now to 4. Now what's that going to do for me? Well, that's going to take our mining yield from 5% bonus to 20% bonus. Well, how much is that going to pull per pop? I'm not sure. It's not going to do too much because we only have 50 M3 of cargo space. Now, 50 M3 sounds like a lot to you guys, but it really, really isn't. Considering a jet can, which is what you're going to jet can mine into most of the time, is 27,500 the last I checked. I don't know if that's still accurate, but that's what it was in 2011. So 50 M3, or I'm sorry, 27,500 M3 at 50 a time, that's going to take a while. So I don't think we're going to mess with the mining frigates, at least for right now. We've already capped out all of that stuff that we can do. I think what we're going to start working on, let's go ahead and X out some of this stuff because I don't want to have that stuff in. I think we're going to start working on these skills. So we're gonna pull some of these up. These are basically kind of support skills. They're things that you're going to want later on. They're not really something that's all that special right now, but they'll eventually allow us to get some like Tech 2 modules and things along those lines. And then I think we're going to leave. Let's see, how much money do I actually have? 351,000. Wow, they left me like just enough to get this if I'm willing to go 2 stations, which is fine. So for what we're going to do for next time is I'm going to. Did I close that? I guess I did. So it's under help and then show career agents. Okay, we're going to set destination here. That's, 3 jumps away. I'm going to head over to the business agent setup, and then we're going to try and get that mission done. Now, this is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be a series of missions. It's basically an extended tutorial that's going to walk you through the business aspect side of things. And I'm pretty sure that at some point in time, that's going to get me an Iteron, assuming it covers trade, which I'm hoping it kind of will. Now, keep in mind that each of these are separate tutorials. Each of them are going to give you different ships, money, skills, and you get a lot of skills for doing this. So you don't have to buy some of the skills, which is pretty helpful early on. So anyways, like I said, we're going to jet over there. Next video, we're going to cover getting into the business school, joining the business group of the Gallente Empire, and see where we end up. So at the end of this video, we are at 351,058 ISK, which we will unfortunately probably end up investing in our next ship once we get to this location, considering I'm going to be going in a pod. So let's leave ship There we go. All right. Well, wish me luck, folks. Anyways, once again, there is an affiliate link in the video description below. That's going to get you a free copy of EVE Online. And as a bonus, it's going to give you 250,000 skill points, which, as you can see right there, is going to get you a couple level 4 skills right off the bat. Save you some time, save you some trouble. Plus, it'll help me out if you decide to go from normal to Omega. That'll get me a Plex, which is definitely appreciated. Up to you, though. If you guys are liking this series, please slap that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next clip.